Namaste all. Welcome to another session on the glories of the discoveries of Germanic healing knowledge, and I take it as a privilege and honor to be a part of this movement, and so happy to have got an opportunity to speak on especially from the veterinary point of view. So the topic today that I wish to present on the 8th anniversary after the start of this movement is the application of Germanic healing knowledge in prevalence of mastitis in bovines. Bovines means the cows. Be coming to the bovine species, so it's called bovines. That is the meaning here. So here it is on the prevalence of mastitis. That means how Germanic healing knowledge can be used in reducing the prevalence of mastitis in bovines, because Germanic healing knowledge gives or focuses on the cause of the problem. So once the cause of the problem is identified, naturally the disease is going to be prevented from occurrence. Let me take the blessings of the Lord, because the same personality who gave the knowledge to Hammer, the same personality who gave knowledge to all my gurus, I seek his blessings so that he is seated in my heart, and from me, the correct knowledge should be shared to you all. So I am seated in that is what he has told in Bhagavad Gita 15th chapter 15th sloka. I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me come remembrance, knowledge and forgetfulness. By all the Vedas I am to be known. Indeed, I am the compiler of Vedanta, I am the knower of the Vedas. So we are actually discussing about him, because he has told I am to be known. So all the our gurus that I'll be mentioning have actually shown the what the Lord has given us and how he has given this particular earth for us to live. So I pray to him so that I will be able to, I shall not forget, and I give you the full knowledge that I am supposed to be giving here. And I am basically a veterinarian, so I am supposed to speak for the animals and to connect the animal world with the human world, so that both will be living a samasta sugino bhavantu, loka samasta sugino bhavantu, so that all will be living a happy life. So all the spiritual knowledge, actually our discussion when we speak about the Germanic new medicine or homeopathy or anything that we speak, we are actually speaking about him only, with his creation, isn't it? So I got the knowledge from the holy text of Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, and the prophets that he had sent, like Samuel Hahnemann, he too taught me homeopathy. So even though I am trained in the allopathic system of medicine as I'm a veterinarian, but from 2000 onwards, I'm not using any of the allopathic medicines in veterinary practice. I'm only on homeopathy, and thanks to Samuel Hahnemann for this great discovery and sharing it to us. And as once I was presenting about my experiences with homeopathy to a group of homeopathic doctors, it is then that Dr. C.J. Varghese spotted me, and then that is how I got connected with him, and through him I got connected to the Dr. Hammer's discovery of the Germanic new medicine, and thanks to Dr. C.J. Varghese and his guru's discoveries. And another person who is also my guru, that is Alan Savory, who taught me the holistic management, which because it is through him that I came to know how the nature functions and what is decision making and how decision making should be. So I'm seeking the blessings of my gurus and the Lord. Disclaimer: see, we are all decision makers. All our decisions are influenced by the perspectives we own. I am not going to be your decision maker. I am only sharing the perspective that influences me when I take decisions for the management of livestock. Hence, the information shared in this presentation is for educational purpose and not to substitute for professional medical or veterinary service. Students shall not use this information when writing their examinations. I have introduced myself as a holistic veterinarian, and what is it that what is the mindset of a holistic veterinarian? For him, livestock are our resources, and common sense tells that resources do not cause problems. It is how we manage them that results in problems. Like, for any problem we say, oh, it's because of the rain, because of the sunlight. No, they're resources, natural resources given to us by the Lord. They can never be the cause of the problem. It is how we manage them. So managing the animals to perform its functions so that it is good for the land and all life forms. Microorganisms are present at the site of the disease, but they are not the cause of the disease. That is how holistic veterinarian thinks. Treatment involves fixing the cause of the problem and not just managing the symptoms. It addresses all the aspects of the animals. The animals are well cared for until ending their lives as humanely as possible, just as you and I would wish to be treated. So this is the mindset of a holistic veterinarian. So the context for this presentation, how do we want our life to be? We want stable families, living peaceful, healthy lives in prosperity and physical security, while free to pursue our own spiritual or religious beliefs. We want adequate, nutritious food, clean water, clean air from fertile landscapes, with time for family, friends, and community, and leisure for cultural and other pursuits. We want real education in contextual decision making to live in harmony as a being in the ecosystem we live in, which will be brought about by behaving. See, all so far I read is what we want. But how can that happen? It can be brought about only by behaving with integrity as a being with all other life forms by ensuring them to live their lifespan performing their functions. Being open, tolerant, non-judgmental, honest and respectful, ensuring mutual respect and support for team humanity as we live with each other and our environment in harmony. All to be ensured for many generations to come, not just for today, for 500 years. Let us put forth how the decision making should be. What is the context on a foundation of regenerating soils and biological communities on Earth's land and in her rivers, lakes, and ocean. It's a holistic context that we are aiming at, and this is the context for this presentation. And I believe this is when we take decisions to meet this context, we call it contextual management. It's a decision making or nishchaya buddhi making process. That's contextual management is a decision making process that enables us to simultaneously consider. That is, for each and every decision that we take, for whatever purpose, it is usually for to meet a need, to meet a desire, or to solve a problem. That is wherein we take decisions. And when we take a decision, the decision making should be such that it should be considering social aspect, environmental aspect, economic aspect, and spiritual aspects simultaneously, not separately. It becomes a reductionist one when you manage either the spiritual aspect alone or the social aspect alone. It should consider all the. Usually when it's spiritual, it covers all the other three, but we have taken it as a separate thing because in many cases that is missing. Factors, that is all these four factors simultaneously in order to reduce unintended consequences while trying to achieve the quality of life we want to live in. That is the context. This is the way, but that is why we say contextual management, to meet the context. So in case we take a decision and it doesn't serve the context, then it is a non-contextual decision and it will lead to unintended consequences. I'm taking is one of his major statements. We have to resolve our conflicts twice. First in real terms, then spiritually. So on the spiritual platform, this is the mindset that I am trying to stress here. That is, it is a sloga from Ishopanishad, a spiritual text in the Sanatana Dharma. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnam Udachyate Purnasya Purnam Adaya Purnam Eva Vashishyate. It simply means the Lord, the Supreme Personality of Lord Godhead, is perfect and complete. And because He is completely perfect, All emanations from him, such as this phenomenal world, are perfectly equipped as complete wholes. Whatever is produced of the complete whole, that is, whatever is produced from him, is also whole in itself. Because he is the complete whole, even though so many complete units emanate from him, he remains the complete balance. That is, each and every species that he has created is complete, and they all contribute to the bigger whole. And it is perfect and complete. There is no scope for any defect in his creation. It's perfect. All that we need to know is the function, the purpose. Even if it's a disease, we need to know the purpose. It's a biological special program like that. No? So this is the essence. This is a spiritual message that I am wishing to share in this particular group. Managing complicated and complex systems. So in management, we need to understand that all technological inventions are man-made. That is all made by us. What is the peculiarity of that? It is a connection of parts. Hence, damage of one part leads to the stoppage of the equipment. Whichever thing we have made, if one part goes, it will stop functioning, and it doesn't self-renew. It's not self-renewing. So then, that such things are called complicated. All that we have made are complicated. It simply means you need an expert to come and correct it. I do not know how a watch works. When something wrong with my watch, I give it to the person who knows to repair it. But nature is not man-made. We are just managing or orchestrating it. So any wrong management of nature, it doesn't stop functioning. Instead, it self-organizes and keeps functioning. Just because one tree fell down, that nature is not going to stop. It will again continue in another form, that's all. Maybe with an unintended consequence, a disease or a problem, but it is self-organizing and relentless. When we are managing complexity, there is no room for competition because it is complex. It is all interconnected. There are no parts in a complex system. So there is no room for competition or violence, as it is the quorum of diversity that delivers abundance. Which means nature is not to be managed in parts, but as a whole. So that differentiation we should know. What are we going to manage? When we manage animals or when we manage our lives, we should understand that we humans, we manage because it is not a creation. Nature we manage because it is not what we created. And wealth also we manage. Money we made, but wealth is not man-made. So when we manage, we have to understand that it is a complex system that we are managing. And so we need only by knowing the function or the purpose of each and everything that the Lord has created, we will be able to manage it properly. So even in German new medicine, it's known when the function of that particular organ is affected, that is where the conflict comes. So we are now going into the purpose of each of the thing with respect to the cow. Now here the topic here is about the mammary gland. So I'll be talking about the things related to that. So what is milk? It's a fluid secreted by the mammary gland of the female mammals for the nourishment of their young. That is their function. A healthy mother will have sufficient milk for its baby. There is no better food for any young mammal than its own mother's milk. It contains the pre and probiotic needed to grow a healthy calf. What is the prebiotic means? It is the food for the life in the milk. And in the present day, we have after the discovery of the microbiota, and now we understand that food is containing a prebiotic and a probiotic. So prebiotic is the food for the life in the food we are eating, and probiotic is the life that is there in the food. And it's straight away going into our system, which needs the life and the food for the life. So milk has its own life, and that is what it is given. All species consume the raw milk only. It is not processed milk that each species, each young takes from his or her mother. It is pakka raw milk. It has the pre and the probiotic. So that is the function of milk. Now what is the function of udder? Udder is the similar to the human breast. It is the breast of the cow. It is an organ designed to produce and offer a newborn calf easy access to its mother's milk. So that means as soon as a calf is born, it stands up, slowly walks to the udder, and starts drinking. No one teaches it how to. It is done by all animals. In the forest, there is no veterinarian or any caretaker to show it. No, nothing. Even with respect to human beings also, the mother takes the child and shows to the nipples, and the mother is not teaching how to suck. So that is innate. That these are all things innate in us. So same way the calf straight away goes there and starts sucking. No training, no university education. And see the prebiotics in the milk of various species. The fat, protein, lactose, but there is a purpose of each thing. See, in among human beings, we see buffalo has more fat. So that means we'll get more ghee. That is not the function. That is the utility of it. The function why buffalo has more fat and the elephants have more fat is they are there because of their color. They need a lot of vitamin E and vitamin A. Fortunately, that is a fat soluble vitamin. So since that particular species needs it, then the fat production is also more for those species because it is needed for their initial growth phase. So, but we see it as an utility. That is not the function. Each species, there is a prebiotic part and there's a function why it is given in a particular percentage. Here I would like to stress here is, see, the total solids is 21, the others is less than 15. What does that mean? 85% is water. Don't miss that. That is also a nutrient. It's a major nutrient in every food. As we are more than 80% water, the same food for us is also with 80% water only. That disconnect shouldn't be there. With respect to the cows, different from our digestive system is that we have one stomach. For them, our one stomach is their four stomachs. And their fourth stomach is similar to our stomach. Other than the first three is supposed to be the ones that will manage the roughage or the fiber that they consume, which is being fermentation takes place and various stages, various chambers, and then finally given to the last chamber. But with respect to a calf, only the last chamber is functional when it is born. The first three chambers are non-functional. And it is supposed to drink milk in this posture right from the udder. We in human beings are doing it this way. We take the milk in the colleges and you will see them being fed in buckets. This particular thing is not designed to drink milk. It is designed to drink milk like this. What will happen is when they drink like this, it will go to the first three chambers non-functional and there will be severe bad smelling stool and diarrhea for this calf. But when it drinks like this, see the biological purpose there. As soon as they start sucking, there is a groove formed which takes the milk bypassing the first three chambers and goes to the fourth. So it is a built-in system there. And that quantity, who is to decide how much it should drink? It is the nature has decided. It is designed in such a way that as soon as it sucks, this happens. No sucking in this case, naturally it will go to the other chambers and there will be problems for the calf. See, with respect to the growth potential of human milk, a child that is drinking the milk of the mother grows approximately 0.25 grams. 25 grams per day. That is the growth potential of human milk. What is the growth potential of cow's milk? How much will a calf grow when it drinks its mother's milk? Free. The way we humans children drink from the mother, if they are kept together, what will be their growth? The growth to grow a calf that means the purpose. It is to grow the calf to 10 times its birth weight in 9 to 10 months. That is, if the calf is born with 25 kg, it should be 250 kg in 10 months. That means it will grow 1 or more than 1 kg per day. That is the growth potential of the cow's milk. And within this 10 months, it should attain puberty. By attaining this to 65 to 70% of the adult's weight, that is the mother's weight it should attain, and then it attains puberty in this 9 to 10 months. This is the purpose of or the function intended by the cow's milk to the calf. by 10 months the milking stops, and the child should be sexually mature. And to ensure a meaningful, disease-free, healthy life. That is why it has been made. We should understand that is the purpose of this particular thing. And when we deviate from the purpose, conflict starts. And so this is the average puberty age for the bovine, means the cows and the buffalo and all. It is 11 months average for the males and 11 months average for the female. It can be any time from 7 to 18 months. 18 then 24 months is when you do not feed them sufficient milk. When you are feeding them sufficient milk before 10 months, they'll be okay. In human beings, it is 13 years and 12 years. The human beings are consuming something that has the potential to make the end, that is that particular calf, to attain sexual maturity in 10 months. The human being who has the capacity to become sexually mature in 13 years is consuming that milk. Just imagine, 22.25, 25 grams per day is the body gain. Because that is how the perception has been shifted by the dominant groups or the institution, that it is having the lot of nutrients, that this and that. So what is the calf share? It is that quantity. How much would a calf get? See, we in veterinary science are taught that we need to give only 1/10 of the body. That if the calf is 25 kg, you give only 1/10. Those calves which are fed like that only will take 18 to 20 months. But when they are fed with left with their mothers, they grow and become sexually mature any time from 7 to 10 months. So what is the calf share? It is that quantity. When consumed, the calf gets the optimal growth. What's optimal growth? 1 kg or more than 1 kg per day. And they should get the healthy. And this is best achieved by calf and healthy cow being together. It can happen. It is not the quantity actually. It is the time they spend together that decides the quantity. That is the calf share, not the milk. It is the time they spend together. It has been wrongly represented. Studies show that such calves who are kept with their mothers, they produce more milk than their mother, or perform 10% more than their mothers. See the photo here. You see the skin of them. They are all hairy and not well. In this there are day-old to 10-month-old calves are there. See, they are all looking the same size, and they are all separated from their mothers and starved. What happens when they are separated? Separation conflict comes. See the skin coat, all are ruffled, and there is starvation conflict also for these calves. So from today onwards, whenever you see a calf, if it is seen hairy, please understand that it is malnourished. It is separated from their mothers. Even if it is for a cow also, if it is that means it is not getting sufficient. Starvation conflict. So the milking practice is the unencumbered suckling of a calf on its own biological dam from birth to the age of 10 months. That is how milking, the real method is. The excess milk is, see, naturally it is excess there, so it will be a trouble for them. That we can take, no issue. Such calves, they become the healthiest, strongest, and the most disease resistant and most resilient calves they become. So today very rarely we get such animals, because right from the day one they are separated. Another milking option is that we have tried, personally we have tried, because in the transition phase, when people are too much addicted and they have been selling milk and they have to be financially also working. So to them we told, you do one thing, you milk them once in the morning, early morning you milk them, then keep the cow and the calf together. It is not the quantity, it is the time they spend together. You keep them together for 12 hours, and then the evening you separate them to milk them in the early morning. So 12, 12, 50, 50. But this is only in the transition phase. What we saw is those cows that are kept with the mother and the calf for 24 hours, we never got a case of mastitis. But in this case, it reduced from 80% mastitis, it is reduced to less than 10% agreed. But still there were mastitis cases. But when you keep them together 24 hours, we never got any case. Still today date, we are not getting any case of mastitis. In excess milk can be obtained from cows only in five situations. One is the Brix level. Brix level means it is the total nutrient content in anything, whichever you are testing. If it can be in grass or vegetables or fruits, what's the total nutrient density? So when the cow is consuming fodder with high Brix levels, as a result of which the milk production is more than the requirement of the calf, so naturally there will be excess milk. It can also be when the cow is consuming fodder of high Brix levels, and as a result of which the milk quality is also high, and the calf gets satisfied with a little quantity, and there will be excess milk. In those cases, we'll get excess milk. Or the calf also starts to eat grass, and so then it becomes satisfied and will not drink much milk, in which case the human beings will be getting more milk. So then the fourth is when the calf is sick, he is not drinking, so you'll get excess milk. And the fifth one is when the calf is separated. I'm so sorry to say, the milk available for purchase today is the milk obtained by separating the calf. All the milk. And as we have understood GNM, we have got the cause for the very high prevalence of mastitis that we see in cows. How to automatically have fewer conflicts. Mother Nature is perfect and always right. Us humans cannot change the laws of nature. It's a law, no, that the calf or the child should get its share. Living against the laws of nature causes suffering. We must learn to understand them and adapt ourselves. We would automatically have fewer conflicts, be healthier and also happier and more fulfilled. It is a statement of Helmut Pilher. The territory or habitat of us humans and the other species happens to be the same. We are all living in the same habitat. So by understanding the laws of nature and adapting ourselves, we acquire the ecosystem or environmental literacy. We have to be ecosystem literate, not just to read. Reading to learn and read and write is not just alone. We should be able to read and understand what is it that the environment is trying to tell us. Then it is called ecosystem literacy. So what is the function of both of us? We all species have, it is what given in one of the religious texts of Hitopadesha, verse 25, it says, Ahara nitra bhaya maithunani samanyam edat pashubir naranam jnanam naranam adhigo visheshu jnanena hina pashubi samana. It means eating, sleeping, fear and mating. Defending, eating, sleeping, mating and defending. This is the common property of men with all other species. Virtue is their great distinction. That is how we differ from the other species, is the virtue of the knowledge. Deprived of virtue, men are equal with brutes. That is, all that we need to see is we shouldn't be cutting the branch on which we are sitting. Finished. That is all that we need to do. Our knowledge is that we will not cut the branch. That is a superiority. That is what we need. We shouldn't take decisions that we are cutting the branch on which we are sitting. So it is a common function for all: eating, sleeping, mating and defending. So what is function? It's the purpose of a person or thing or an activity that is natural to. That is innate function. What is it that this particular species has to perform in this perfect world, a wholesome world created by a perfect personality? We humans should be having that knowledge to see them for their function and not for the utility. We see them for their utility. That is the state of being useful, profitable, or how is it useful for me? How is it beneficial for me? That is how we see. So with respect to cows, I'll give another example. See, we have coconuts. It has a husk. What is the function of the husk? The husk, because these trees are supposed to be growing near the water bodies, and when it falls, it shouldn't sink down, and the water takes it to another shore, and then there it starts to grow. So that is the function of that particular husk. When commonly asked, people say it is for making a rope or something, but that is the utility of it. The function is for mating, or it's reproductive function. It is to spread it to another area, propagation. So each and everything has either of the four functions. So we have classified the utility of cows If we think that it is the function of the cow to be used for draught purpose or for milk, for a milking purpose, then it should be useful throughout the life. But what happens? These animals all end up in the garbage, eating the garbage and stray. This is a common sight in India. Why? Because we have not seen them for their function. We see them only for the utility of milk. After milk, no use. So at a particular time, there will be only 25% animals that will be milking. So 75% of the animals are useless. No, it cannot be. No. Then that means the creator is something wrong in his creation. Right from birth till its death, it is useful. That is how he has created. If we follow the biology or the laws. So there is a sloga from Srimad Bhagavatam. That is the first canto, 17th chapter, 3rd verse. It says about the situation of cows in this particular age. Although the cow is beneficial because one can draw religious principles from her, she is now rendered poor and calfless. That means now it's a common thing to see that they are poor and calfless, all the cows. Her legs were being beaten by an uncivilized for what is tied and milked. That's the meaning here. There were tears in her eyes and she was distressed and weak. She was hungering for some grass in the field. That is, she's hungering to perform her function. She's crying because her calf is gone, because that is also her function, to feed the calf, to grow her calf to puberty. And the other function of the cow, major function, is to graze. That she is longing to do. So the swadharma, or the major function of the cow, is to graze. Its grazing is the inborn quality function of a cow. And utility, you can use them for draught purpose or milking, but it should come only after the function. Land and cow care or both should be the same. When a natural resource is not used for its functions, it leads to the diminishing of the said resource and hence unsustainable. That is, more than 75% of the animal cows are useless if we see them fully for milk. So the primary utility fixed is for milk and traction, but actually their function is grazing, and the function of the udder is to feed the calf. And it is been understood that it is meant to feed the human beings. That is not what it is. When we know the law, it is for there is a purpose for each and everything. The same way for the human beings, the breast, here the udder, it has got the main glandular part and the ductal part, and it is the teat through which the milk is taken by the calf. It's more or less the same only. So what are we all doing? Whether you are a doctor, whether you are an engineer, whichever profession, we are all human beings performing the function of decision making. We are all decision makers. We are making decisions either to meet a need or a desire or to solve a problem while managing resources to produce food and fiber from the landscape. That is what it's a major function of us. All decisions are influenced by paradigms. That is, any decision we make, there is a mindset or a perception that influences the decision. And unintended consequences will arise if the decisions are not with our context that we have in the holistic context. Then we have some problem comes. So to solve these unintended consequences, if the decision is in tune with the context, then naturally it will be only intended consequence. But if an unintended consequence come, it simply means our decision is not in line with the context. So to solve any unintended consequence, we need to shift from the paradigm or the mindset that influenced our previous decision. By changing the decision alone, it won't happen. The same mindset, but a change in decision won't work. For example, you have there is the pesticide use. Then a pest is there. So it is coming and it is harming our crops. We believe that they are our competitors. So what we do, we have used the chemical pesticides. So now we understand that the whole water, the drinking water, everything has been polluted with poison. So then we change. Okay, now I will change the decision. I will not use any chemicals. I will use a organic pesticide instead. So here we have only changed the way we are doing, but we have not changed the mindset. The mindset change means we are not competing with the insects. They have their function, we have our function. In that case, we will never try to kill them. We will try to live with them. I'm not going to the topic of what is the role of insects here. Now, I'll just sticking on to the role of cows only. In the coming sessions, we'll speak about that. So to get the decision mindset right, we need to be knowing the function of each natural resource we are managing. So here we have understood the function of a cow is to graze, and the function of the udder is to feed the child. So I'm showing you how important it is to keep them together. This is a group of cows which were kept before they adopting the right practice of feeding, only taking the excess. They were all housed like this. Look at the texture of their skin and all. As soon as we kept them together, see their size started increasing. See the shining coat, and we gave them better housing. See how it changed. We didn't give any medicine, only kept them together. So all the problems they were facing because they were separated. That is the starvation conflict and separation conflict got corrected. See, you can compare this particular calf has become like this, and this one became like this. The color also changed, and see the texture. Just by keeping them together, once they started getting their share of milk, when the law was abided. See, this is a calf, 4.5 months of age. 4.5 months of age. If his birth weight was, it's a male calf. Its name is Prahlad. If he was born with 25 kg, that means he should be somewhere around 160 kg when he is 4.5. He was hardly 45 kg. But when we kept them together, in 3 months that calf became like this. That is when we connected the cow and the calf. That is when the rule was abided. See, this is another set of Gir calves that is in Gujarat area. They are supposed to be red calves. See the color, all ruffled hair coat, and they are all eating the dry fodder only when they are supposed to be drinking their mother's milk. The same calves, when we kept them with their mothers for the 12 hours, just 12 hours they were kept together. In 1 month they became like this. See the size, see the hair coat, everything. In 1 month. No medicine, only laws of nature got connected. See, now in that particular farm, the previous batch was looking like this. The present batch of calves there, they have got the correct skin code because they are with their mothers at least for 12 hours. This is a difference when you follow the laws of nature. See, this is the cow mother and this is the calf. This is only 10 months. See, this has become bigger than the mother. If you keep them together, they were all kept together because this particular farm they agreed and they kept them together. So then naturally one group told no, the bull may be big. The bull is weaker than the mother, but they were kept together. See the difference. So that is why we say the Supreme Personality is perfect and whole, is complete. See, this is a calf that was born in this particular Divyalok farm. See, from the day it is born, they are together, and you can see this. Just it's a day-old calf, ringing just delivered only. He knows to run around. See, this particular owner agreed to keep. She's also in our GNM group. She has agreed, and then see after. This is by
so fast.
one year. See this one. See how this particular lady has grown with coming almost equal to the mother. And now this is after 2.5 years. See how which is the mother, which is the calf, which is the daughter. That is how the difference is. When they are given, allowed to graze and live together. How happy they are, and why should there be a disease for them? So that is why we say the personality is complete, and he has made a complete system, perfect complete system. So now when we see them for the utility, we breed them for more milk. So their lifespan gets reduced because of diseases. The udder cannot hold much milk, and they're leading to mastitis and because of separation. They are getting lot of diseases called brucellosis, which I'll be discussing in the another session. And dairying became unprofitable for the producer, and so finally it ends up in culling. That means it is of no use financially. So culling, that is what it ends. See, we got a bigger udder, but we didn't, the body is still the same. So this is what is happening to the cows. So what is real milk? Another thing that we should know is the real milk is not processed milk. It is the raw milk that we have to consume. Even if we are consuming the excess milk that we get from the cow, it is the raw milk that we are supposed to consume, not any processed milk, because it has got the characteristic of, in Ayurveda we say Vada Pitta Kapha. It will bring down any of such problems, and it is called Amrita in Hindu culture. In the Vedic text, it is Amrita Tulya. That is what we say. But the milk that we drink today is all pasteurized, toned, pasteurized, standardized. That means the probiotic is missing. See, the probiotic and prebiotic also goes because you are engineering it. It is not supposed to be consumed. It is not food for human beings. Raw milk is the food for human beings because it needs the probiotic. Real milk is not pasteurized, toned. So that is where the biology comes. When you are purchasing such packet milk, understand we are for the biology. We are for the laws of nature. The real milk is neither pasteurized, toned, skimmed, or homogenized. It is just raw. It is warm and sweet. The other milk we will have to add sweeteners. So to get raw milk as an ideal prebiotic and probiotic, the milk you consume should be free from milk of pregnant cows. That is there. We cannot. It is difficult to differentiate. You should be knowing that it shouldn't be a pregnant cow. Milk of cows in heat means when they are on their mating day. Milk of deceased cow should not be taken. The calf share should not be taken because it will be emotionally, it's in a conflicted cow, no? Conflict bearing cow. Milk of underfed cows or milk of stall fed cows, they are, you saw in that slogan, this is hangering for a blade of grass. They want to do their function. Then only that milk becomes what it is supposed to give. One thing I forgot to say with regard to the pasteurization is, see, if you have a cow and a calf, you are allowing the calf to be with the mother and it is growing. The weight you see, 1 kg per day. You take all the milk, you pasteurize, toned and give it to the calf, it will not grow. It will have two problems that has been seen when you give them pasteurized milk. Their liver and kidneys affected. So abandonment conflict and starvation conflict in place. Because that the separation causes whichever way it is damaging only. Indigestible morsel conflict, whichever way you want. Because that is not their food. We are missing the probiotic. As per now we'll look from the German new medicine point of view. See, now you have understood what is the function of each part, function of that species, everything is understood. So anywhere we disrupt that function. So it is clearly told in Germanic new medicine, animals suffer biological conflicts in real terms. For instance, when they are attacked by an opponent, separating them is an attack. When they lose their nest or territory, yes, that is there. From you can understand from what I told. Or when they are separated from a mate or an offspring. Starvation conflict from lack of food. It is this biological conflict experience that connects us with all life. Severe malnutrition, poisoning, or an injury can result in dysfunction of an organ without DHs. But here it is pakka clearly, linearly. The differentiation between the psyche, brain, and the body is purely academic. In reality, they are one. So in GHK, it is finding the original conflict shock and finding a biological. So here, what is it? Separation is there and correction. And I've showed you, presented you before you what happens when the biological solution is done. And in the brain level, the epithelial lining of the milk ducts is controlled from the sensory cortex. The milk ducts in the right, the breast are controlled from the left side of the cortex. The milk ducts in the left controlled. Hence, there is a crossover correlation. That is the brain level. And development and function of the milk ducts, they are structured so that the milk is drawn from there and reaches the outlet. So the biological conflict linked to the milk ducts is a separation conflict experienced as if a loved one was torn from my breast. That is what is happening with respect to cows. So the separation, many other reasons are there. And loss of the nest also is there in cows. Nest very conflict is also there. So the biological conflict linked to the milk ducts is a separation conflict experienced as if a loved one was torn from us. Cows suffer separation conflicts through the separation of the calf to extract all the milk from the cow, death of the calf as a result of starvation conflict of the calf, sale of the calf as the owner finds it expensive to rear a calf with milk or milk replaces, and by sale of the calf some revenue comes to his business. Constant sight of a starving calf, that the cow is there and is seeing the calf starving in front of her. See, they bring the calf near to the udder. The calf, when it licks the udder, it starts to secrete the milk. That milk letdown happens. Immediately they are removed. How do you understand? The calf will lift the tail and start to wag. Once it starts, the calf is removed. So the cow is seeing the calf being starving in front of her. The separation from a home affects the glands also. That is also seen in cows. So here you see the udder which is inflamed is when during we understand it is in the healing phase. In the conflict phase, you see there is an ulcer in the duct, ulceration, and then the proliferative phase comes when the thing is resolved by the cow. You see the inflammation. It will be red, hot, inflamed, and you will see when you strip the milk out on the floor, you see there will be flakes. That is in the proliferative phase to heal the this thing. So in the the PCLA phase, they had all will be there. The redness, pain, everything will be there, and then later on you will start to see a lot of flakes coming, and we'll have to drain out all the milk, and necessary treatment, whatever it is has to be given. And since it is in the healing phase, I usually give only homeopathic medicines, and there are farmers who just take them to the river, dip the udder in the river, and just keep stripping. And when they come out, almost 75% of the inflammation is gone. They don't give even any meds. So whichever way it can be, it depends on whether the severity, you know, whether it's peracute and acute only, we may need some intervention here. So if you take the milk from the affected udder and you do this test, you will see, you know, the cows, the milk is taken and there is a reagent called California mastitis reagent,
is a simple cow-side test to
and the milk from each is taken.
Are therefore infected. The test consists of a 4-well paddle and CMT solution.
So it is supposed to be tested. We
Take
do the testing from each sample
into each of the 4 wells,
and then
the paddle.
Reagent is poured. And when
pour out the excess milk
cell count,
the
pus cell count is
add in
more
equal
than
amounts of
2
CMT
lakhs
solution to each
per
well
ml.
paddle.
Then what happens is
Rotate
you start
the
to
paddle
see
in a circular motion to mix
a
the contents.
thickening of the solution. As you will see
High
in
somatic cell count
the
milk
top
will cause a
left,
thickening
you
of the
see,
mixture,
that thickening, that
and with
gel
a strong
formation is there.
positive
That means
result,
that
it will thicken to
particular
a gel.
udder is affected and the cell count is more. So you needn't even see the the inflammation. It's called subclinical mastitis. So that is how we can identify it. There also it is only because more than 2 lakh, but up to 2 lakh it's now permitted, because then you will not get any milk in the market. So that you should understand. So only this milk will be. So each country has their own standards. So the minimum so far is 2 lakhs is permitted, and this reagent is also made in such a way that it will read only above 2 lakhs. And when the nest worry happens, the gland, you know, it breaks in open, and the whole gland will be thrown out. So that also happens in cows. So it's a global loss to the dairy disease, and you see the major loss is clinical mastitis, and subclinical is the major loss of things. You know, more than 80% of the cows are affected, or some other of the diseases that you see are there. It is all linked to the separation only. It is all linked to, because of the separation and not seeing them for their function only, all these diseases happen. So we do not know their function. That is where they are straying they are called stray cows and all, because that we do not know the function. Functional is a functional extinction. So in a farm, the social life of the cows and the calves is given high priority. Being with the mother means more than just access to milk. It's a biological connection. It has to be there, no? So we must change. We must be the change we wish to see in the world. That's what Mahatma Gandhi told. A shift from seeing other species for their utility to their function shall remove the cause of our problem. Here, with respect to the mammary gland affection that we see in the cows, it is only because not only mastitis, in the coming sessions I will show you where this has led to many other diseases that we see in the cows. And this is why the mastitis is there. And this is with the knowledge of GHK. Actually, when I started using homeopathy only, I was sure that bacteria has got nothing to do with this problem. The reason told in the conventional system is that the bacteria will enter through the teeth canal orifice and then it goes inside and causes mastitis. That I was sure. After coming to homeopathy itself, I understood no, that is not the reason. But with coming to the understanding from GHK, now I have clearly understood how it causes the conflict, the psyche, brain and the organ relation also came. So now it is valid proof, discovery to say this, and I'm showing it has been prevented. My experience is there that wherever now we have connected the cow and the calf, we do not get a case of mastitis. They are happily living together, and many other functions come in place, and there will be pure happiness for the old life. It is Loga Samasta Sugino Bhavantu will happen. So I'm thanking you for the opportunity given to me, and thanking to all the gurus who gave this awareness to me, and thank the Lord to send these people to, learned personalities to teach us. And once again, I would tell you, in cows, it is the separation conflict that is causing the major problems. So thank you for the opportunity. Namaste.